Hey, my beautiful friend, welcome in. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Today, I have a very special guest. I just got done editing this episode with her that we recorded a couple weeks back, and I am so excited for you guys to hear it. It is full of fire, and it is full of love, and it is full of lightness. And I cannot wait for you to dig in and get to know my special guest, Abby Haggard of The Fullness Show. She's a mama of five and she has embraced less in order to live more. And it is so clear she is living abundant motherhood and she wants it for you. She's here to teach you how to do that too. And I'm so excited for you to get to know her. And also, I wanted to share with you right now. I wanted to share with you this like time sensitive offer she has. She's doing a free 3-day decluttering event to prepare you for the holidays. All right, this is a specific declutter challenge, and it's her fall edition of this. And so for 3 days, she's going to be going live every day and teaching how to prepare your homes for this incoming season. She'll have giveaways, practical teaching, and tons of life giving encouragement to get you ready for the holidays. And she's going to help you to walk away feeling so much lighter and focused on the heart of the holidays and not the endless to-do list that your home is requiring of you. So mark your calendars. This is starting November 1st, running until November 3rd. This is time sensitive, so the group will be opening on the 29th to get things rolling. And I hope you get in there and get to meet Abby and just join her community and declutter your stuff. I hope to see you in this group, and you can join the group via her Instagram, which is going to be in the description of this episode. There'll be a link to get to all the links mentioned in the episode, including this right here. So I hope to see you there, my friend. I hope you have a light and beautiful holiday season, and let me know what else I can give you to breathe life into you this holiday season. But let's kick it off with decluttering with Abby Haggard. Let's do this, mama. For as long as I can remember, they've been telling us to enjoy it while they're young. But our days are filled with chaos and stress and cooking and endless laundry piles. Where's the time to enjoy it? Yeah, that's what I always thought too. There's so much I have to do. When do I find time for peace and joy and happiness when I barely have time to sleep? Mama, it's time to make shift happen. You can be a happy mom. If I can, you can. Trust me. I've been a mess, I've been depressed, I've been overwhelmed, I've been to the bottom of the pits, and I've risen, I've grown, I've bloomed, and it all started when I realized I didn't have to anything. I get to. It is my privilege and my honor and my divine responsibility to be the queen of my home. It's not a burden. I'm not a burden. I'm in charge. I'm the ruler. I'm the chaos coordinator. I'm the calm in the storm, and so are you. Come with me. Let's rise, mamas. Adjust your crown, accept your responsibility, change the effing world together. It's all in the way we choose to see it. I'm so glad you're here, friend. You're listening to Meant to Bloom with Brittany Clarkson. Welcome in, my friends, to this episode of Meant to Bloom. Today, I have a very special guest. It's Abby from The Fullness Show. Abby, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you. Let my listeners get to know you some.
Yay! Thank you, Brittany. I'm so glad to be here. This is a huge treat for me. I've followed you for a little while and love your content, love your community. And so I'm excited to be here. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and mom to 5 little kiddos right now. And my entire mission, my entire heart is to help women and especially mothers find fullness in the season that they're in. Not when their kids are out of the house, not when they have time to themselves, not when they've gotten a great night's sleep, or not when they've, spent time doing XYZ, but right now in the season that they're in. And my whole mission is to just simplify and bring them into a place of fullness in their motherhood and in their life right now. Because ultimately, when we thrive as moms, everybody thrives. There's that, lovely saying that says, "Moms, when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy." And moms are the heartbeat of the home in a lot of ways. And I want to help moms uh, make that heartbeat sound and life giving and calm and peaceful, and just create beautiful environments for their homes and their families to be raised in. And that's my whole mission. So I'm excited to partner with you. I feel like we have the same kind of heart and mindset, and I know that this conversation is going to help a lot of women, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. I was going to say, like, your heart is so aligned with mine. Your mission's so aligned with mine. And I love it. I love like the multiple perspectives that we get when we align our missions together. And it's like, oh,
Hmm.
we're wanting the same goal, but we both have like such a different approach and history behind it. And I
Yes.
just love the connection. And
Yes, me
like,
too.
I'm real excited for all the women who are going to end up following both of us from now, listening to you
Yes.
on mine. And they're going to come over to you and be like, oh,
Yes.
Brittany never
It's like
talked about that.
right.
Abby knows something different, but it's leading me down the same like wholeness,
Yes.
happiness, all of that.
I
Oh,
love
and I
that.
love it. I'm
Yes,
like
that's beautiful.
so excited for it.
Good. Me too. Me too, girl.
Okay. So, Abby, what was like the big thing that led you to seeking abundant life, to know that there was more?
That is such a good question, and I'm gonna try to keep it brief. I feel like that's so hard to do. My like big moment, I think, came when I came to the end of myself. I don't know if you're familiar with the Enneagram, but I'm an 8 on the Enneagram. And the 8 is a very like self-driven, they're known as the snowplow of the personality types, where if we're going to do something and if you get in my way, we're going to just run you over because we're on a mission. I'm a healthy 8, which is really good. I've worked really hard to get there. So I don't necessarily run people over anymore. But I definitely have this mindset of like, I can do it. I can do it. Just get out of my way. Let me do it. And I took that approach with motherhood too. I took that approach with, um, fostering and adoption and all the things that we have found ourselves in. And when I came to the end of myself, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't polished. It wasn't beautiful. It was ugly. It was broken. And it felt very, very wrong. And when I got there, I was overwhelmed. I was stressed out. I wasn't enjoying my life. I wasn't enjoying my motherhood. I felt trapped in this, season of life. And it was kind of like I had this true encounter with God where he was just like, "Are you ready to let me lead now? Like, are you ready to surrender this life that I actually died to give you? And I've actually promised you this full and abundant life, but you're trying to do it on your own when I actually have the grace that you need to do it." And I started this journey of just truly surrendering my heart and my life to the Lord again when I thought I had already done that. And started walking that out truly, truly every day, 5 minutes at a time. Like, God, I need you. God, I need you. I cannot do this without you. God, I need you. And when I started doing that, I started finding myself in conversations of just encouragement and like pointing me in a direction of you can change your life. Like, you can change the way you think, you can change the way you do things. You have power and permission to do that. And was ultimately led to a beautiful, beautiful mentor that has been my mentor for the last 4 or 5 years, Ali Kasaza, which we share. She's also your
Hmm.
mentor, your business mentor, and realized that she did it. She literally changed the narrative of her story and her motherhood. And I was like, I know that, in the scripture, it says, in John 10:10, it talks about how Jesus came to give life and life more abundant. The enemy, he came to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's where I felt like I was. And Jesus was saying, I have this for you. It's not just something like when you accept me as your savior, you're not just accepting, a free ticket to heaven. You're accepting a new birthright. You're accepting a new identity. You're accepting an inheritance from heaven. You're accepting the power that's lit in me that is now in you when you say yes to me. And that full life is yours. That abundant life is yours. You just have to walk in it. It wasn't hard. It's not hard. It's not striving. It's not getting everything right. It's not reading your Bible every day. It's not spending time every day. It's not all these rules and regulations that we find ourselves in. It's literally saying yes. It's literally like opening up your entire mindset to say, God, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Because I was living in this pattern. I'm sorry, this is a long answer, but I was living in this mindset and this pattern of like, I had to do it this way, and the way that my mom did it, or that my grandmother did it. And I dropped all of that. And I just said, I'm ready to rewrite this story, and started taking some serious action. It started with the things in my home. It started with the things that were draining me of life. And it was clutter. It was stuff that was just completely taking up all of my mental energy. And it moved into like some serious like mental work, like realizing toxic thoughts that I was thinking all the time. And so that's kind of where it all started. That's kind of where it all came from. And I've been on a mission ever since to not just live that way myself, but to bring other women along with me and help them realize that this is theirs too. It's not, we're not out of the alignment when we are living in overwhelm. We're just not realizing what we have access to. And so I want to help people see that they have access and power and permission to walk in that too. And that's my whole mission. That's my whole heartbeat. And that's really what started the journey of living in fullness.
I love that. And again, there's like such an alignment there. It's a different story, but there's still the same, like
Yeah.
having that moment where God just meets you and is like, you're ready to surrender now. Like I can
Yeah.
you'll finally listen to what I've been playing in the back of your head this whole time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
been here waiting.
Exactly. Exactly. It's so
Oh,
true.
so I feel like sometimes, I don't know, I feel like when you don't go deep with someone who teaches about less
Mm-hmm.
and the decluttering, I feel like a lot of times when you just like get a surface like idea of it, it feels so like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as deep until you hear a
Mm-hmm.
story like that. And you're
Yes.
like, oh, there's like meaning behind it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just so that there's less for me to do. It's like
Mm-hmm.
opening up my heart in a new way.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love that. And I'm just wondering, like, in what ways has decluttering for you like opened new doors in your life?
Great question. Love that question. Um, so it's funny because I talk all about this, and then I teach decluttering. I have a course on decluttering. People are like,
Yeah.
what? Like, how does that,
How's
how
it
does that
connected?
walk into fullness? Yeah, when literally your word is fullness, but you talk about less. And that is literally what you're making room for. When you get rid of the things that are not serving you and the things that are sucking the life out of you and sucking the time out of you and the energy out of you, that's literally stealing from you in so many different areas of your life, um, you have freed yourself up for what actually matters and for the things that you want to do, the things that you free up your brain space to actually have a capacity to where you're not living on the margin of your life all the time, where you're just completely like, I have no room for anything and I have no time for anything. And we got to be here. And we got to do this. And now I've got to clean my house, and it takes me hours and hours and hours. And I can't have anybody over because it's embarrassing. And God, it takes me hours to do my laundry and pick up and dishes and everything. The toys are just coming out of the walls. Like, it's just insane. And when you're living in that zone, there's just no time for your soul. There's no time for you to actually dig in and look at where you're at and what you want. There's no time to sit down and look into your children's eyes and get to know them in the season that they're in, because they're ever changing and they're ever growing. And there's no time to sit and, relax with your spouse and just kind of, dig into their heart and get to know them more and date them, and even though you're married, like, you still need to date them. You
Right.
still need to dive into that relationship. And there's just no time. You have no time because all the stuff in your house has taken your time. All the stuff on your calendar has taken your time. And when I decided to declutter, it became a lifestyle change. It wasn't just I'm going to declutter once a month or a couple times a year and just kind of get rid of crap. It was like, no, I'm going to be a guardian of the gates of my house. And does that mean that, presents can't come in and we don't celebrate birthdays or Christmas? No, absolutely not. But it does mean that I am, and I have taught my family to understand that we have a revolving door in our the gate of our home, where things are welcome to come in if they serve us, if they make us better, if they make us happy, but they don't get to stay because we don't serve those things, and eventually we will if they stay too long. So the revolving door brings it right back out after it's spent its time that it needs to in our home. And so when I've decluttered and when I've taught this lifestyle change to our family and to myself, it was this realization that time is valuable, and it's you only get so much a day, you only get so much energy a day, amount of energy a day. And I wasn't going to let that clutter and that excess and the obligation that comes with the stuff that we're given or that we even buy to steal from me anymore, and to take any of those precious drops away from me of that time and energy, because I wanted to give it to other people. I wanted to open it up and serve my family and love my family in deeper places. And so getting rid of clutter has freed up my schedule. It's freed up my time as a mom. It's freed up my mental space where I can like sit down, and we have this thing called you and me time with all my kids, all five of them. And I spend 20 minutes a day with each of my kids. And my husband does it too. And we spend intentional time looking in their eyes, doing what they want. We'll go for a walk, we'll go for a drive, we'll go jump on the trampoline, we'll go just do a game or something that they want to do, and get fully invested in it. We leave our phones behind. Everyone has to kind of leave us alone, and we dive into that time together. And I would have never been able to do that, years ago when I was drowning in stuff. I would never have been able to do that if I had not taken back my calendar and been like, sorry, we are not doing everything all the time. This is a no for us. We want to make time and margin and create margin for our family. And so the doors they're just wide open now. I can't even name them all, but decluttering has definitely been a game changer, a lifestyle changer, and I'm so grateful for it.
Wow. I love that so much. What I was thinking in there when you were talking about that is when you don't like when you have way too much stuff and your time
Yeah.
is so spread thin, it's kind of like emotionally living paycheck to paycheck. There's no
Yes,
time to there's no margin to build wealth. You're just
exactly.
constantly going from one to the next
Hmm.
without
Yeah.
that blank space in the middle?
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's a great way to say it. And unfortunately, our society says that's how you live your life.
Right.
And common culture motherhood says this is how you're supposed to do it. And I remember like even saying, like asking people, like when I had just had my third kid, I was breastfeeding, I was, not sleeping, all the things, the norm. And I remember asking people like, how do you make this easier? Like, what do you do? Like I was talking about like stuff in my house and talking about like
Yeah.
what I wanted to change. And they just kind of would smile and be like, well, welcome to motherhood. Like this is what it is.
Right.
And mothers that were older than me, mothers that had been through it and were kind of out of that season and just kind of laughed like, well, welcome. And
Right.
I was like, I got mad. Like I was like, not me, not us. Like, I'm not buying that anymore. Like I don't want to live like
Hmm.
that anymore. And like what you said just now, emotionally living paycheck to paycheck, I think has become a common culture and a common thing in our society. And we need to take it back. And we need to
Hmm.
say, enough. That's not how we're going to do this anymore. And I think that, with therapy and with Jesus and with, community around you, good friends who sharpen you and pray for you and believe in you, um, that kind of life, we can become emotionally wealthy and emotionally intelligent to where we're able to lay those boundaries down and not people please and try to meet all the goals and do all the things. So I love that.
Yeah. All right. So we know you have a new decluttering course out, and I want to hear about that. Who is that? Like, who listening right now needs to get into that?
Mm,
And what is she going to
everyone.
get from
I'm
it?
just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes. If you are tired of picking up all the time, if you cannot pick up your house in 30 minutes or less, you need a decluttering course. If you are constantly avoiding having company over because you're embarrassed of your home, you need a decluttering course. If you are finding that you just dread um, adding anything to your calendar because you feel like you're drowning in overwhelm, you need a decluttering course. If you are struggling with spending time with your spouse or your kids, or having time for something that you love to do, like a hobby or um, something that gives your soul some life, you need a decluttering course. Everything that involves stress or overwhelm is usually linked to and can start with your stuff. These studies that have been thousands of studies that have been done on the relationship with stress and clutter are like, you can't even count them. It's absolutely like unanimous. Stress and clutter go hand in hand in the workplace, in the home place, in the creative place. It's just not feasible. And most people are like, oh, that doesn't really bother me. But your body, it responds to clutter. Your eye sees it and it bothers your soul and it distracts your mind and it depletes your mental energy. And that is something that we can't allow anymore. We can't
Mhm.
allow that to take up our beautiful, beautiful life and this precious, window of motherhood that we have with our littles and even our bigs and the kids in our home and the grandkids that you have. We can't allow it to steal anymore. And so I think anyone that is just in any of those categories, whether you're a mom or you're not, or you're just, your grandmother, you're an empty nester, you're single, this is for you. And I go so deep into not just the how to of decluttering, which I'm very, very practical, give you lots of practical things, but I go into the mindset, into the deep things of where you might find yourself. Talk about your past, and if you lived in a home that lived paycheck to paycheck, you had a scarcity mindset. Maybe you had a deep loss in your life and you have attached to things. Talk about how sometimes we cope with overwhelm or being stressed by retail therapy. I was in that category. I would retail shop to go and make myself feel better, or I'd panic buy because I didn't want to be without something. When it came to little furniture things on the garage sale sites and stuff like that, we all can find ourselves in this place with a story of our stuff. And so if you're in that mindset or in that space, in that season, you belong in this course, and this is going to help you so much, so much.
Oh, I've definitely been guilty of so many of those things.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Oh, yep. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is one of those episodes where it's like I can't wait to go back and like re-listen to it myself and
Me too.
pick up on the pieces that I know I missed when I was listening to it.
Yeah. Thank you,
So,
Brittany. I'm so glad to be
yeah.
here. And I love your heart and what you're doing and your mission. And like I said, I believe that it aligns so beautifully. So it's so cool.
I'm so glad you're here. I'll put all the links down in the description of this episode. Is there anywhere specific you want listeners to just go right now immediately and be like, let me go find Abby?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Abby L. Haggard. You can find me on Facebook too at Hello Fullness with Abby Haggard. I am in works with my website. It's almost live. It's abbyhaggard.com. Love to have you there too. And so yeah, just I have a great freebie too that I'm gonna give you, Brittany, that you can link below. But it's a decluttering 101 freebie that I would love for anyone who's just like, I don't even know where to start. I don't have the finances to buy a course. I've definitely been there. I totally relate. And this is a freebie to kind of get you started, just to get your toe in the water. of what you can start doing and the mindset you can start moving into. So I'll link with that, or I'll send that to you as well. But yeah, those are the great places to find me. Message me. I'd love to meet you, get to know your story, and encourage you along the way.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Abby. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of Meant to Bloom. It really does mean the world to me. But are you ready to take this a step farther? Check out the description below of this episode and grab your mindset makeover. It's totally free, my gift to you. Then hop on Instagram and let me know what you thought of this episode. Tag me at Britt Clarkson, that's BritClarkson. If any part of this resonated with you, please let me know by tagging me or leave a review and share on social media so other mamas can find this too. If it helped you, it's going to help someone else. You're part of a movement now. Let's go.